This is Power Lines, the show that pulls back the curtain on how power really works. Your hosts are Robbie and Terry, both 15. Every week they break down who really runs things and how regular people can push back.
Welcome back to Power Lines, the show that pulls back the curtain on how power really works. I'm Terry.
And I'm Robbie, and today we're following the money, the dark kind.
Dark money sounds like a supervillain thing, but it's actually a real term in politics.
It means political spending where the donor, the person writing the check, doesn't have to be publicly revealed.
So someone can spend millions influencing an election and you'd never know who it was.
Exactly, and it's totally legal, which is the part that makes your brain do a little spin.
How did this even become a thing? Like, didn't we used to have rules?
We did. The big turning point was a Supreme Court case called Citizens United versus the Federal Election Commission decided in 2010.
The court ruled that corporations and nonprofits have free speech rights and spending money counts as speech.
So limiting how much they spend on political ads? Unconstitutional, the court said. 5-4 decision.
And overnight the floodgates opened, not just a crack, like fully off the hinges.
The key vehicle is a type of nonprofit called a 501c4, which is technically a social welfare organization.
Social welfare? Sure. Nothing says social welfare like a 30-second ad calling your opponent a menace.
These groups can spend on politics as long as it isn't their primary purpose, but primary is pretty loosely defined.
And crucially, they don't have to tell the IRS or anyone else who donated to them.
So a billionaire can write a $100 million check, it flows through the nonprofit, and their name never appears anywhere.
How much dark money are we actually talking about in recent elections?
In the 2020 presidential election cycle, researchers tracked over $1 billion in dark money spending.
1 billion with a B, that's enough to buy roughly 300 million large pizzas. For context,
That is an extremely specific and slightly upsetting comparison, Terry.
I stand by it. So who's spending all this money and what do they spend it on?
Ads, mostly TV, digital, mailers. Both parties use it, by the way, which surprises people.
Yeah, this isn't a left or right thing. Groups across the political spectrum have dark money operations.
Those studies suggest the split isn't perfectly even. Researchers at Open Secrets found conservative dark money has historically outpaced liberal dark money.
Though liberal dark money has grown a lot since 2016, so the gap has narrowed.
Either way, regular voters on both sides are in the same boat, not knowing who's really funding the messages they see.
Which matters because money has a point of view. Whoever's paying probably wants something in return.
Could be a favorable regulation, a tax policy, an appointed judge. Dark money is basically a very expensive wish list.
So is there any way to find out where the money comes from?
Journalists and researchers do heroic work tracing what they can, following nonprofit tax filings, spotting donor overlaps.
But it's slow, and by the time you piece it together, the election is already over.
Some states have passed their own disclosure laws, like California and New York, requiring more transparency than federal law demands.
And there have been repeated pushes in Congress for a federal Disclose Act, basically forcing more sunlight onto these donations.
It's passed the House more than once, but it keeps stalling in the Senate, so nothing has changed at the federal level yet.
There's a real debate, though. Some people genuinely believe donor privacy protects free speech, especially for unpopular causes.
The Nyack Pap actually won a Supreme Court case in 1958, protecting their donor list from a hostile state government.
So anonymity has protected good actors too. It's not a simple good guys, bad guys situation.
The question is whether that historical protection justifies a system where billionaires can shape elections invisibly.
Reasonable people disagree, which is why this fight has been going on for decades and isn't close to settled.
What can a regular person actually do? You can't exactly audit a nonprofit on your lunch break.
You can check opensecrets.org. They track as much political money as anyone and make it searchable for free.
And you can ask yourself, when you see a political ad, who paid for this and what do they want?
That little moment of pause is honestly more powerful than it sounds.
Follow the money, stay curious, and keep your skepticism sharp. Whoever's buying the ads is counting on you not to.
That's dark money in a nutshell, a legal, contested, billion-dollar gray zone at the heart of American democracy.
Thanks for listening. Keep asking hard questions and see you next week on Power Lines.